Dressmaker, directed by Jocelyn Moorhouse, is an Australian film set in the fictional outback town of Dungatar during the 1960s. The film is based on a book of the same name written by Jocelyn Ham, originally published in 1973. In the film, Myrtle Tilly Dunnage, played by Kate Winslet, returns to her hometown in rural Australia to seek revenge on those who have wronged her. The film explores many of the things such as healing, revenge, justice, and femininity, and highlights the importance of identity through the diverse range of unique characters and field techniques. This discussion will analyze identity through a range of codes and conventions presented in the film via technical and symbiotic techniques such as Morehouse's shot choices and costumes. Identity is a prominent theme throughout The Dressmaker, with many characters being more than they should be. Front and center is Tilly, who is confused about her identity, having been labeled a murderer by the town's residents. Tilly is exposed to criticism and malice from the locals. Keen to find more about her past and continue dressmaking, Tilly wears and creates increasingly extravagant dresses for the local women. This spot-on, out-of-the-place fashion highlights Tilly's identity crisis and insecurities of the town's residents, who are competing for the most alluring in Dagatar. The elaborate costumes not only highlight the exquisite talent of the film's two costume designer, Michael Wilson and Maren Bryce, but they powerfully present how different Tilly is after many years away in Paris and Milan. Despite her internal insecurities, Tilly's glamorous haute outfits are presented in direct opposition to the townspeople, who wear a teacup palette of 1940s cotton pinafores and smocks. The juxtaposition of the neutral landscape and the locals' bland clothing with the color of glamour of Tilly's outfit deliver a true sense of Tilly's evacuation from her oppressive past. A scene where Tilly's transformation, physically and emotionally, is highlighted is when she struts into a game of football dressed like Reith Haywood, distracting both teams. Against the backdrop of a dirty and dusty football field with spectators wearing the same clothes, Tilly stops everyone in their tracks and signals she plans to do things her way. Tilly's arrival is both introduced to a grand-level close-up shot of her red heels, highlighting her eye for fashion, and the culture shock her arrival to the game has triggered. The vibrant color red also connects Tilly to danger and seduction as her dress quickly distracts the players on the field. Throughout the film, fashion is also used by many of the townspeople, particularly the women, to create new identities or escape from current ones. The fashion transformations in the film are a powerful way to enhance femininity and challenge patriarchy, with many characters presenting elegant, empowered images in Tilly's creations. Gertrude, for example, in her wedding dress created by Tilly, is transformed from being described as a good mule by Sergeant Farrett to being the spectacle of the town in a silk ferreted gown. But Gertrude's transformation is slowly unveiled, beginning at the footballers' dance, when the diegetic music comes to an abrupt halt and the camera focuses on Gertrude as she enters and captures the attention of everyone there, especially her love interest William. With Tilly's help, her hair and makeup contrast with her previous style, further showing an escape from her previous identity. The dressmaker engages the audience in a dichotomy of protagonist and antagonist, with Tilly, the antagonist, being charming and glamorous, and the antagonist, the townspeople, being bland and passive-aggressive. Tilly's indifference is communicated visually in her pale, poise, and language. In many scenes, Tilly is shot from a medium close-up angle to showcase her magnificent outfits. Lighting these scenes often make her appear as good and rational in comparison to the townspeople. Using low and high angles to create a sense of tension, the townspeople seem smaller than they should be and are depicted as almost characters of themselves. Additionally, some scenes are shot at eye level, allowing for a clear view of the flaws of these characters have. Sergeant Farage is another character whose true identity, a man who adores women's clothing, is unwrapped. He conceals his true interest in women's clothing mainly because of the possibility of losing his job, but his true identity is beautifully highlighted a number of times throughout the film. In a scene, he is front of a mirror with a light blue dress in hand, visualizing himself in it. An eye-level close-up is used, revealing his face, tricking the audience into thinking he is just checking his uniform. The scene then cuts to a medium shot where what was really going on is revealed. This technique subverts the audience expectations about him. The Scene's lighting comes from the window, illuminating the entire room and making him and his surroundings appear friendly and warm. Molly, Tilly's mother, is also reminded of her true identity as she takes a journey of reconnecting with her daughter. The trauma of losing her daughter years ago is signified by the separation of her house from the others within the town. Being located on top of a small hill, the distance is symbiotic of both the physical and moral distance between Molly and the rest of the town. The house is filmed using long shots, which helps illustrate how the other houses within the town are together. While Molly stands alone, this highlights the group's mentality of the townspeople and the ability to limit individuality and identity. It is through these codes and conventions the Dressmaker depicts the importance of finding one's identity, be it Tilly's new identity, Gertrude's rejection of her own old one, Saratran's denial of his own, and Molly's forgetting hers. The film explores the theme of identity through effective use of camera angles, natural lighting, a cast of actors with distinct characters, and spectacular costumes. Thank you for listening.